So over the last week, we've seen Bradley Martyn call out Logan Paul and say, hey, I could probably beat you, and say things on the Full Send podcast.
I want to fight Logan Paul, MMA.
But I don't think he will fight you because he had too much to lose. He sucks.
He sucks.
At fight.
The problem is I don't think Brad's going to fight anyone his size, but they got to be
I want
smaller.
Logan.
We can talk about that.
Who's
down
the opponent,
line.
Mike?
Are you open to fighting someone your size?
No way he won't do it.
I want Logan. That's been my plan.
Okay.
And all of this kind of got to Logan, and Logan said, hey, you know what? I want to take you up on that, and I want to actually fight you.
I told him, I said, I'm coming on the 8th and we're doing it. He said, you don't want to make this a real event? I said, no.
He reached out multiple times to Bradley. Bradley was kind of looking a little bit iffy about it, but at the end of it, Mike Majlak got Bradley Martyn to agree to fight Logan Paul.
He just wants to meet up in like whatever format you want to do and just fight.
I love that.
And now people were looking at this and saying, hey, Bradley's a 260-pound guy. Logan right now is like 205 pounds. There is no way Logan beats Bradley Martyn. Bradley Martyn is a huge bodybuilder, just packed with muscle. Even though Logan has an athletic build, isn't going to be as strong as Bradley Martyn. And the fight was going to be in mixed martial arts, so MMA, which means they could use all their disciplines. So everyone thought, hey, Bradley has a higher chance of winning because he can use a lot of grappling, and with his sheer compound strength from all his muscle, there is no way Logan Paul wins this. And after all the talking, Logan pulled up to Bradley's gym and said, hey Bradley, let's do this, let's fight right now. And to be honest, I was looking at it, and when I was watching the footage, Bradley Martyn looked very nervous. As a person who used to fight, I can sort of tell when someone is nervous where they're willing to fight, but they're nervous because they're not used to the environment and the kind of aura that's produced when the fight is about to happen. And Bradley kind of looked very nervous, while Logan kind of seemed chill.
Whatever you want to do like that.
But you don't want to film it.
I didn't want to film it. No.
But you also wanted to fight in front of the zoo culture.
I said no cameras, no content.
Be in front of zoo culture.
Yeah, no cameras, no content. This is specific to that.
The biggest things we need to take into account are the fact that people were thinking Bradley Martyn has a little bit of combat experience, but from all the things he's done, all the feats he's accomplished, and all his heavy lifts, he's going to have way more of a chance to get Logan into a submission and take him out. But then again, Logan Paul, even though Logan has a very, very bad track record and record when it comes to fighting sports, such as boxing and other things, we can't take away the fact that Logan, even though he has lost all his boxing fights, we can't take away the fact that he is a trained professional in sports, and he used to wrestle when he was younger. So now, when you take someone who is trained but has a terrible loss streak and put them against someone who hasn't really competed and trained in that respect, you can't expect the person who hasn't trained to win. And I think a lot of people are overlooking that. Even though Logan Paul has lost all his fights, Logan Paul still has that training and still has that IQ that you get automatically from all of this training and all of this ring work. And we can't take away the fact that Logan is a very good WWE fighter where he's doing high flying stunts and other things. Just because it's not quote unquote real fighting doesn't mean he doesn't have to train and put in a very, very strict regimen to get into competitive shape. And people took all of that away. And then when you put Logan Paul and Bradley Martyn standing side by side, suddenly you realize Bradley doesn't look that big. When Bradley is standing beside other people who are regular and have a regular physique, they look quite big. But Logan Paul is a big guy. He's pretty lean, shredded for his size and his build. But putting him beside Bradley Martyn made Bradley look just that little bit smaller. It could have been the fact that Bradley did have on this oversized t-shirt. Bradley didn't kind of want anyone to film it because Bradley, I don't know, I feel like he was a little bit worried that he was going to lose and look very bad on camera. So he didn't want anyone to film, and he made everyone turn off all the cameras. We do have some word that Bradley might have had some of the CCTV security cameras in the gym active because he couldn't turn them off for security reasons.
So we're doing that?
My thesis is you have cameras everywhere in this gym.
Yeah, but I agree to not post anything.
This doesn't say that. But you don't want to film it.
I didn't want to film it. No.
But you also wanted to fight in front of the zoo culture.
I said no cameras, no content.
So therefore, he might have this footage and he's either going to sell it or he's going to release it himself. But we all know that Bradley Martyn didn't want to fight Logan Paul in this way, away from cameras and away from a big pay-per-view event, because Bradley Martyn said, hey, if I'm fighting, I want to get paid for it because no one has ever seen me do it ever, especially against someone like a Logan Paul, who is a multi-millionaire who would sell a good pay-per-view.
You not down to run a real event? I've seen you mention an MMA fight a couple times. No, bro. I'm gonna pull up on you, facilitated by my friend Mike, the businessman, and we're gonna see what happens.
But we did learn that after Bradley Martyn and Logan Paul actually went to throwing blows Logan Paul actually beat Bradley Martyn, allegedly. So Logan came out and said, hey, we fought. Bradley had me, but because he lacked the skill, he couldn't finish me. Pause. And that's where we get into the fact of just because someone is stronger than someone, if they don't have the IQ and the knowledge, they won't be able to use all that strength into an actual fighting scenario. And during the fight, Bradley actually had Logan in a guillotine but didn't know how to close it because he didn't have the knowledge. Logan got out of this, slammed him, he got full mount on Bradley Martyn, and Bradley turned to his back and went into a crab position, and Logan just wailed on him, and as Logan said, he bounced Bradley's head off the mats.
And then just popped his head like a speed bag. Bro, and that shit was bouncing. It was soft too, just bing, bing, bing.
And people might say, hey, Logan is just over exaggerating. But if you look at the video and you look at them after the fight happened, when the cameras were turned back on, you can see the back of Bradley Martyn's head is bruised badly, which means Logan wasn't lying. Logan did put him on his belly and beat the brakes off him and slammed his bald head on the ground. Don't worry, I'm bald too, so I can't really talk too much about bald heads. But yeah, what do you guys think? Did you guys actually think Logan Paul was going to lose to Bradley Martyn? When this whole thing started, I said there is no world where I see Bradley Martyn winning just because he's the bigger guy. I've seen bigger guys get beaten by smaller guys. Hey, I'm 6'1" and I go to the club and I get beaten by guys who are in like the 140 class. They're just faster than me and have better IQ than me. So I can't see just because someone is bigger, they're gonna win a fight. That is stupid. If this was an actual straight up street fight, I do believe Bradley Martyn would have been able to employ some distasteful tactics that could have helped him beat Logan Paul. But because they were doing it in an MMA rules, he had to fight by the rules. And fighting by the rules would give Logan Paul a way better chance. We know Logan Paul has trained in wrestling growing up. Putting all of these facts together, we can just say that off the stats on paper, there is no way Logan Paul was to lose this. But yeah, if you were on Bradley's side, why did you actually think he was going to win that fight? And if you're on Logan's side, I guess you just know a little bit more about fighting and more combat sports. From an untrained eye, you would see Bradley Martyn and Logan Paul, and you would probably honestly think Bradley would win. Do you guys want to actually see Bradley Martyn fight Logan in an actual pay-per-view event? Because Logan did say he has a contract and has a deal that he could be presenting Bradley with.
I'm telling you, I might have an offer for you.
What with you?
Yeah, that's what he's saying. Yeah. Like a real, like meaningful.
Yeah, if you train for real, maybe. But I might have an offer for you for an actual event.
I do believe it's going to be a PFL fight against Logan Paul, or it might be against a smaller opponent, and if Bradley wins, then he fights Logan Paul. But again, if you like these topics I bring to you and you like all these little stories I bring, make sure to like, subscribe, let me know your opinions, and let me know if you were actually baffled at the fact that Logan won. I wasn't. Let me know if you were, and I'll see you guys on the next one.